Okay, I hope it. Alright. I ain't gonna play Fortnite, of course, because what's happening, because I'm not gonna do any videos. So what's happening, I hope, so, what's happening now for, Hurricane Florence, it's gonna take more than a couple days, so, get over it. Hope everyone's okay, hope everyone's alright. And, like you said, it is moving very slowly. Yeah, I want to take my phone off charge. If you can see, wait.
Category 1. Yes, there's strong winds. Is it going to blow down a lot of buildings?
See what's happening right now.
Probably not.
The bigger concern right there
is the surge for those folks, especially in some of these coastal communities.
I hope everyone's okay right now. I don't want anyone hurt because it is one of the worst ever hurricanes in a century, and it's happening right now. Hope everyone, like I said, hope everyone's okay. What I don't like is, I know children will be used to it, but like little ones and 12-year-olds, like over it, like under. I know people probably say no, but they're used to it. But this is one of the worst ever hurricanes in the century. It's worse than a hurricane, like Hurricane Harvey. Worse than that. It might happen. Like there might be it's gonna be flooding for 2 days, and I hope everyone's gonna be okay. It's like I know I'm in the UK in England. But you like saying, oh, just like stay out of it. You're not really an American, but I support America because I'm not saying anything, but like every other country is a good place. And I got a phone call. Hello. Yeah, I'm just doing a live stream right now. Yeah, I'm gonna put my phone on for the Hurricane Florence. So I'm just saying I support everyone. So I'll come back down. I'm quickly put it on. So I'll see you down there. Peace, 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 peace. So that's my mum, guys. She's just saying it's on the news. So I'm gonna go watch it downstairs.
So that's certainly something to watch out for. Yeah, I never thought about it, guys.
Hope everyone's okay right now.
Coming into your mouth. That qualifies as very difficult. Normally when it rains, you hold something over your head. He was bracing as if something were coming at him just vertically right in his face.
Anticipating the gusts as well, as he described that funnel of violence behind him. We'll get back to Jeff in just a few moments, but there's been severe flooding in New Bern, North Carolina, where hundreds of people have been pulled out of their homes where they intended to ride out the storm. Chris Van Cleve is in New Bern, where the rescue effort has been going on throughout the night. Chris, good morning.
Good morning. We've come outside the fire station, gone about 7 blocks, and you can see the river and the road are now the same thing. In fact, we happened upon these folks. They are not search and rescue folks. These are people who came to help. They brought their own boat, and we watched as we were pulling up. They were coming in with a family. They had pulled out of one of the homes over here, a home that the family described as becoming an island. They just felt trapped with the water, and of course, as high tide comes in, as Jeff was talking about, there's concern about more flooding. But already there is plenty of water coming into parts of New Bern here. We know there are about 150 people that have called and asked for rescue that are still waiting to be rescued. 2 FEMA swift boat search and rescue teams have been deployed. We know there's a third one. There's Texas, Massachusetts, and North Carolina, all here in New Bern. Guys, these are ceiling tiles from like the inside of a building. So you know there's damage in this area if parts of a ceiling are floating in the street. Back there is a lectern that perhaps came out of the Shriners building here, and then all kinds of debris. There's a door sitting over that way, so there's going to be damage to homes here. We know that there's high water as well. The police told us that best they can figure there's several neighborhoods here that are impacted, whether that's just cut off because of high water or situations where there's storm damage. They don't know that yet. That assessment's going to have to wait a little bit. We can tell you as we were driving into New Bern, power lines were down, trees were down all over the roads. It was like an obstacle course in the dark with no light. 22,000 or so people in the New Bern area are without power, many more in the surrounding regions. It's a very serious storm. As Jeff was saying, the winds are strong, but it's the water that just keeps coming. The water that comes from the rivers pushing into the streets. And of course, the water that's coming down out of the sky, the rain, that combination has people really concerned about the flooding right now. And then in a couple of days, as all of this water that's dumped upstream comes down through these rivers, they get that flooding concern all over again. John?
Yeah, and it's moving so slowly, so that makes it even harder. We're going to be dealing with this for a while. Thank you very much, Chris Van Cleve.
Major General Gregory Lusk joins us now from the North Carolina National Guard Joint Force Headquarters in Raleigh. General, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you.
So tell us what you're seeing on the ground.
Well, I have the fortune of obviously being in Raleigh, North Carolina, so I'm nowhere near the scenes of the reporting that you just covered. But having had the experience throughout my career, I can only imagine what they are reporting. So right now in Raleigh, things are kind of calm, but southeastern part of the state obviously quite a bit different.
Over the next 2 days, you're going to have a lot of work, maybe even longer than that. What is the first order of business as this storm moves through?
Well, I think that if you don't mind, I just want to recognize the fact that so many of the people that were just being reported upon as being potential victims, those very people, a lot of them are on duty today, somewhere in the North Carolina Emergency Management Enterprise, guardsmen included. So indeed, just tremendous and selfless individuals that have left their homes and their families behind in order to take care of the needs of others. But our first order of business obviously was getting pre-positioned, so that indeed we could immediately respond to life-saving methods and measures right at the beginning. And then, of course, be postured for what we anticipate is going to be a very long recovery, so we can try to get North Carolina and all of our fellow citizens, our neighbors, our family, and our friends back on their feet just as quickly as we possibly can.
Major General, given the sheer size of this storm, larger than the Carolinas, how can you make sure that your troops, the National Guardsmen, are being deployed where they're needed the most?
Well, I appreciate that question, and you're right. There's a lot of it is almost on the level of unimaginable. So we just have to imagine it the best we can, and try to establish as much flexibility as we can as we do our planning. So we have quite a few, over 500, that are actually committed and assigned to missions, particularly in the eastern branch of the North Carolina Emergency Management, east of I-95, let's say. We have quite a large number of people that we are holding in what we call reserves, about 2,000 or so that are kind of west of I-95, all the way across the state, all the way to the mountains, because as the storm track shows, I don't think there's going to be any part of North Carolina that will be unscathed. And then also what's important to note that, of course, the U.S. Northern Command and our partners, the rest of our Army and our Air Force, of course, are pre-positioning a lot of assets on the periphery of the southeast region, so that indeed we can call upon them once this storm lifts and utilize the resources that they have.
A massive storm, Major General, and you're right to give a shout out to all of those first responders who are leaving their families behind now, many of them facing this storm as well. They are jumping into the line of duty to rescue so many. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And ahead, we'll take you inside our mobile weather lab near where Florence made landfall to learn more about the storm. That's just about 2 minutes away, but first it's time to check your local weather. All right, we're back.
We're back. We're back. We're pulling away from CBS this morning because they are going into a commercial break. So we want to just continue to cover what we've been covering over the last couple of hours, which is devastating Hurricane Florence that is making landfall now, literally at Wilmington, North Carolina, which is why we're showing you this live shot. This is live pictures coming into us right now. You can sort of see the wind. And in other parts of North Carolina, we've already been, over the course of the last 2 hours, showing you the tremendous flooding that people are experiencing, the fact that certain people are waiting still to be rescued, and that dozens of people have already been rescued as the storm continues to deliver a tremendous amount of rainfall onto North Carolina, and so this is the reality of what we've been talking about for the last 3 days or so.
Right. So joining us now is the owner of the Frying. No, we don't have him yet. Okay, we were hoping to have. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But so Wilmington is sort of interesting location because depending on the cameras and where you look,
This is a live shot,
damage. It looks more intense than in other places, but certainly here you can see the wind and the rain. It's been particularly bad in other locations like New Bern, where they've been dealing with some serious storm surge, bad enough that people who didn't leave found that they were trapped in their homes and had to be rescued. The thing about the storm surge is that it's connected to the tide. The tide comes in and the water rises, the tide goes out and the water recedes, but it doesn't recede back to what it was before. There's a little more water left over, and then the tide will come back in again, and the storm surge the water will rise again, and it will be higher than it was before. So we're looking at New Bern right now, so you can see how bad it is at least in that shot. That's not live, but you can see what it looks like there. It's going to get worse. In some areas, you can see the water's up to maybe the front door of people's houses. It's going to get a little higher than that. It's probably going to be in their living room, definitely before this thing blows over, because this is going to hang for a long time. But slowly, what we're seeing is that the eye is moving onto shore, and for the people who find themselves in the middle of the eye, Lonnie told us they probably have about 4 hours or so of less rain, less wind, but then comes the other side.
The other side.
And the other side comes in hard.
Yeah, I mean, that's the consideration that people have to think about, which is that you may feel as if the storm has weakened. You may feel as if you're out of the dark, so to speak, but you're really not, because as that eye swings around, you're going to see the conditions pick back up again.
Yeah, looks like that was the shot of a rescue, maybe a photo that they just threw up there, because we know that there are swift water rescue teams from FEMA who have been heading out. People have been saying that they need help.
Right, yeah, these shots are. So, yeah, the situation in New Bern specifically this is what we're talking about. This is the extreme flooding that we've seen. We've seen the New Bern Police Department tweeting that people are still asking and waiting to be rescued. The advice for those individuals is, if the water gets to a point where you can no longer be safely at ground level, get to higher level. If that means your roof, then head to your roof. If that means your attic, make sure that you have a way to get out of the attic from the roof. In other words, you need tools to cut a hole in the attic so that the first responders can get to you. But they are coming. They are going to get there. Here you see some people who are either trying to get out and have realized that it's just too difficult to remain where they are, and you can just see the level of flooding that we're talking about.
And you saw the gentleman with the dog. I should just let people know that you don't have to leave your pets behind. A lot of these shelters that are available, that are open, it's more than 200, and they're trying to open up more. They'll take animals too, so please do not leave your pets behind. We saw that in Texas, some heartbreaking images of pets being tied to trees and just stuff like that. So you don't have to do that. And speaking of shelters, I think the number was around 260 shelters open so far, thousands of people already taking advantage of that. But when we talked to Mola and we asked him why people where he was at in Wilmington, why they didn't leave when given the chance, one of the things that he said was they don't have anywhere to go. Well, you do have somewhere to go.
Yeah. In fact, we probably should find time to show Elaine Keano's package from yesterday for the evening news. She had a really compelling piece about what is happening at the shelters in the region and how they are preparing for this. She talked to not only the administrators of those shelters, but some of the people who were already there, and what was happening and how they were preparing to deal with even folks who ultimately did not choose to go to the shelter before, like some of the folks in her piece, but then make their way to the shelter in the wake of this flooding, because that's clearly where some people are going to end up if you happen to have decided to stick the storm out.
The other thing that was happening prior to this is they evacuated a lot of homes for the elderly. Hospitals were evacuated. You remember, Vlad, the heartbreaking pictures from Texas during the last hurricane where there was an old folks' home that had flooded and these elderly people were sitting in this murky, dirty water waiting to be rescued. Well, they said, here, we're not going to let that happen, right? So they made sure that they found places for all the more vulnerable citizens to go before the storm blew in.
And, again, one of the things we want to emphasize is to not let your guard down, even once the storm moves along its path towards the north. What you're talking about is all this water that you're seeing right now is going to come back the other way. In other words, as it rushes back into the ocean, you're going to see flooding. And now, by this point, the water is going to be extremely contaminated. And so you don't want to be there when that happens. Again, we're just emphasizing that if you have opportunities to get away from this flooding and you can't do it on your own, first responders are on the ground. But if you can, you still may be able to do so.
Right. We're also seeing, widespread power outages as was expected, more than 300,000, but the expectation is probably going to go up to 1 million, maybe more people without power. Part of the problem has to do with the winds pulling down power lines, also the trees pulling down power lines. When you have waterlogged soil, sometimes the roots can't keep the trees upright. When you have wind blowing in one direction and then switching once you get to the other side of the storm, then blowing in the other direction, sometimes trees that were able to withstand the first bout of the hurricane after the eye just simply can't withstand the winds going in the other direction, and they come down. So the expectation is moving forward, a lot of these power lines are not going to be able to withstand this storm, and many more people will be losing power. I'm not sure what we're looking at here, but are these hopefully these people are working and not sort of out sightseeing in the storm. But we're looking at Wilmington right now, and we can see sort of a bunch of people out there meandering around. But Mola said that some people came out where he was at just to take pictures, and because it's something that you don't see very often, to see the storm surge, to see that there are no boats, and that what is normally a high vacation time for many of these shore towns, there's no one. It's a ghost town.
All right, let's get straight to the person that we sort of teased up a little before we started talking. You'll all recall this iconic shot here. Joining us now is the owner of the Frying Pan Tower in North Carolina, Richard Neal. Thank you so much, sir, for spending some time with us.
Certainly. Hi, guys.
How are you doing?
We're doing well. I'm on shore this time, but generally I would be out there during the middle of one of these things itself.
So, a lot of people, if they've been watching coverage, have seen the shot of your American flag and have gauged the intensity of the storm based on how the flag is faring. But I don't think a lot of people know what the Frying Pan Tower is and where you're located. So could you give us a sense of all that stuff?
Certainly, I'll keep it short and sweet. It was built before there was GPS, and so when ships would go ashore, this lighthouse actually kept them off the shoals, which is all the way out, 32 miles out in the ocean. And of course, with GPS, that's all obsolete, and so they auctioned it off. I ended up buying it and wanting to restore it to keep this piece of history alive for people to come and see.
And so, and before the age of GPS, explain again what the tower actually did and how it was beneficial to mariners and to people even onshore.
Well, lads, if you think about it, when you're out in the middle of the ocean, before you actually had anything like cell phones or GPS, it was hard to know exactly where you were. So they literally had a light on the corner of it, and it's a big steel box built in the design of an oil rig to house a bunch of Coast Guard guys. So it is basically a big steel house about 70, 80 feet off the water, designed to withstand the storms and provide stainless steel kitchen, pool table from 1964, and all the amenities that you'd actually need.
Yeah, that's the thing. Let's throw up a picture of it again, because when I first took a look at
There's the flag.
There's the flag. We remember that. When I first saw an image of it, I thought to myself, how does this thing withstand Category 3, 4, 5 hurricanes? But clearly, it has withstood them all.
It really has. Those real thin legs allow the waves to go rolling right past. And the actual weight of the structure, we dropped off about 300,000 pounds of water load, so it's massively overbuilt for what it has to do.
So you said you're on land now. Have you ridden out hurricanes before in the tower?
Yeah, I actually have. I took a nap on the helipad during the eye of Matthew, and unfortunately that apparently made the news as well. But when you're out there, there's nothing to hit you but a little bit of wind and rain, so it's not like on shore where things are dangerous flying through the air. And other than a very gentle rocking motion, it's a truly amazingly beautiful place to be.
So why did you decide to ride it out this time around on shore and not at the tower?
Well, let's put it this way. Every single person out there that has a job has a responsibility to do their work. And last time I was out there, I had to run back to shore to help the people that had lost power. So I wanted to be here for the job. And also, if people need help and cleanup, I'm heading to the coast when it's time to do my part.
Wow, I mean, it's truly amazing. You've probably experienced something that very few people have experienced, to sort of lie out in the middle of the ocean in the eye of a hurricane. Yeah. People can stay at the tower, can they? Or can they? I don't know.
Well, we used to, but I realized shortly that it was going to be something that I needed to get some assistance, so it's not a terrible plug, but I'm actually selling it off fractionally. We have multiple people that can buy their own piece of the tower and come out and stay in there. Well, I guess you can't call it a beach house, can you?
And there's no beach.
You should list it on Airbnb.
I do have a tremendously good moat, but other than that, yeah. Indeed.
It's lovely.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Richard, for spending a little bit of time with us. We really appreciate it, and hoping you and yours are safe, and we thank you.
I appreciate it. Be safe.
All right, you too. Thank you. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be back with a whole lot more coverage of Hurricane Florence. Stick around.
Bitcoin mining operation underway.
It's up.
It's almost like something out of the Mad Max movie.
I'm all in. I use Bitcoin in every aspect of my life. This technology is either going to be a bust or it will be a... The usage here in the county.
They are literally consuming large sections of our town. I think it's just people complaining and not actually understanding what they're complaining about.
This is a take, not a give. It's just going to drain our power.
Here's a way they can
very scary. I'm gonna try and get this up. Oh my god, man. Bro.
Just joined us channel. You will see giving an interview at
Is only the topic itself and probably try to make it possible.
Trying to get up
बिल्कुल आहिस्ता आहिस्ता जो है जाती उमरा की तरफ
खालिद वसीम साहब भी हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं हमारी खुसूसी ट्रांसमिशन
drop weather news.
strength. So you can see the system is not fully in the land, and so therefore it's going to continuously keep maintaining its strength over the next couple of hours.
Where's my where is it? There it is. There's my camera. Fuck's sake.
Do not go outside and take pictures. Do not think that the system is over. Do not seeing the effects of Florence. As Scott transitioned over to the storm surge potential map, we're able to see in what ways storm surge is affecting the area.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been talking about storm surge potential and we're
Bro, this is annoying as.
we're seeing the brighter colors
Try not.
over towards North Topsail Beach, over towards these areas.
Why not? Just out straight.
About this map, we can find the and you can zoom in as
What?
well.
Where's my controller here? Up there.
What we're talking about some of these surges anywhere from when you're seeing the yellow, possibly up to 3 to 6 feet, maybe some areas a little bit higher than that. And we'll just go ahead and zoom down the coast here to Topsail Beach. This is where
I'm gonna put this bit.
with the hurricane right around the Figure 8 Island, and you can see some of the waterways, some of the marshes, and also right along the beach experiencing some tidal surge as well.
All right, Scott, actually they're able to get a shot of what's going on outside, so let's take a look at what's going on outside right now on our back guard cam. We're able to see, I'm going to make my way over to the weather graphic so I can get a better view of what's going on exactly. Look at those winds. We really see those winds making their way through here, and our wet road conditions out
This
there.
phone is rubbish. Like, whilst it's charging. Mum said she's gonna wipe these downstairs. Well, she doesn't know.
So we're going to continue to tack on to these numbers here.
Do you think if I go into replays, I'm gonna stream for quite a long time. Shouldn't it be like some scry me? Oh, I don't know how you say it. I think 231. 2 whatever. Alright guys,
Join us by phone. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing today?
Well, I'm doing all right. I'm curious about how you're doing. I heard you couldn't drive through Wilmington. Is that right? What are you seeing out there now?
Yeah, that is correct.
yeah,
I'll
you
tell you what, this hurricane went from 0 to crazy in no time. We were sitting maybe with 30-mile-an-hour gusts, and then all of a sudden we started getting
Jesus Christ, I bet America's okay.
winds sustained to 80, 90
You can tell,
gusting up to 100 miles an hour. We've seen a tremendous amount of debris falling out of the sky. We've seen large pieces of sheet metal, parts of roofs come off. We've seen a lot of flooding, especially in the low-lying areas. There's trees down all over the place, and when the eye wall was actually hitting us, it looked like lightning. There were so many power flashes so frequent.
You've covered a few of these. How does this compare?
This one was definitely one, because, a lot of the other
why is everyone saying fake on the news live stream?
This one was by far the one that went from, barely anything to just all out crazy in no time. And the thing that's so similar about this, not necessarily the intensity, is it's behaving a lot like Hurricane Harvey last year, how it's just kind of parking here, slowly moving, dumping tremendous amounts of rain, and some of these areas can be 20 to even 30 inches.
George is like I know, like you're saying, well, they'll be alright. But if you've seen on news, it's going. Well, it was like going 19 miles per hour. It's going for 2 days. It's going for 2 days straight, like I said. But this is what it has to be. This is one of the worst ever storms. I know you're saying, yeah, we know it's been one of the storms in a century. What Philippines? I feel sorry for them because they're having it right now. They're having it more worse than America and North Carolina. So they've been flooding. People near the coast that they'll be. Don't know when they'll be done. Soon, like soon as you see thing move. Right, we need to talk about this cube. It hasn't moved in a day. Do you think it's just gonna jump, or do you think? Do you know what? I know what's happening. So, they said the storm started yesterday. There was a little trimmer, a very little, like started getting spits, yeah, like little spit of water. So hopefully America and America and go away. Yeah, my nose was up. Yeah, North Carolina and I can't be bothered. Forgot. So what's up? Alright, let me get this. It's going right now. I'm put it back on charge. Oh my god, go away. Go, yeah, come back. Turn battery on.
Look, the power is out in Beaufort. There's about 14,000 people who live here. They've been told to essentially shelter in place
So
at
most
this
of
point. There's a mandatory evacuation order that's been in effect since dusk. It expires at dawn, but listen, there's no way anybody's going to be able to get out on the road right now. The storm surge where we are hit about 7 feet. Now remember, storm surge
7 feet, Jesus Christ, I'll never see that again. Oh, my messaging is broken, so I can't see messages. I don't want to, actually, whilst my phone's charging, I'm going to go on my stream. Damn.
Still hasn't hot in there, then you put off.
Come in. Alright, cool, bye.
I love you. I'm sorry
Yes,
if I was a bit
cool,
moody,
cool.
Annie.
Yeah.
Was I moody?
Yeah, you were.
Sorry.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, the worst storm at the moment. Here you go. Worst storm at the moment. I can't believe this is one of the worst storms. I know America. Oh come on, I'm gonna forget it. Philippines. That's it. Philippines. They're having a hurricane. And America's having a hurricane. Hope everyone in America and Philippines is alright. I know I'm looking at the stream at the same time. No, I had to go to the doctors today. A bit weird. My leg is all bruised up. What do you think will happen if England had a hurricane? I always wondered. Would it be dangerous or would it be alright? Dangerous or alright? What would you think, guys? What do you think? Oh, damn. I cannot see because I'm trying to do something. I just hate what's happening right now. Well, I like 2016. Now is one of the best years, or 2014, because America didn't have that much hurricanes. They did have some, but it weren't how bad this one is. And Hurricane Harvey. This was one of the worst ones. Everyone in comment type up if you like the what was it, suppressed AR. I'm come off my stream now because I can't be bothered because I just had to fix it. I might have to go back on it if it don't. I wanna quit. Oh, there's some right there. I wanna be on it quite a while in case someone comments. Actually, I wanna quickly comment. Wait. I can't. It's busted. It's properly busted. It says, sorry, cannot comment whilst not having any signal, but I do have signal. Now I'm trying to do that again. Are you flipping out your mind? No one cares about adverts. I hate this phone. I am going to see what's happening right.
It will move south into South Carolina
Alright, it's going up south, the storm. I'm just gonna keep it on. I can't read your comments, so I think I don't know if I disabled it or something. Always, I actually feel so when I'm older, yeah, so when I can donate. I know I've been because my dad and my mum has been donating to this company for polar bears in Antarctica. Do you know? So I believe it, but how polar bears are losing ice in land. I think, is it Antarctica? I can't remember. I'm not really good at biography. Oh, why are you sniping me? Headshot in the 66. That says yeah, he's gonna be on any. Hope he gets killed. He's gonna deserve getting killed.
All right, Don Daler reporting from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Thank you, Don. Joining us now is Mark Crua. He's the public information officer for the Myrtle Beach Police Department in South.
I'm going to type something in chat on if it works. Why is it not letting me? Whilst my phone charges, I'm going to put weather for weather. Oh, CBS News tracking the weather.
We've got tropical storm force winds here. The rain bands are getting to us. You ought to be in place at this point. And then the other
Actually, I was stupid enough because I was a bit bored, so I watched one of Alie's videos because I'm stupid. And he said new jetpacks are in playground and the Tommy gun and crossbow, but I do not believe him at all, so I'm going to watch it. I'm going to go on it and try to find one.
Folks decide, and those who decided to ride this storm out find themselves in
Знаешь, блин, вот эту попу благодарю, идеально.
Just weird. When someone invites you, then they kick you from a game. That's what exactly something called time. I might be wrong, but do you know how Fortnite is in Carolina, North Carolina, hurricanes in North Carolina? I think the queue, like they're not doing an update from the queue moving because of what's happening. So that's why I think. I'm not promising anything, so that could happen, or just sitting there to just do something. Like, I think is Ninja in Carolina? I know he's in America. Look, I want to see. Yeah, west 160. Let's go down to Oceania, that's 300. That's, yeah. I'm gonna be quiet now because I want you guys to hear news. Jeez, I'm lagging. My game's lagging, boy. Yeah, I'm gonna quickly leave the server. Go on a server with people in different regions. Like they want, I think they might be on Oceania servers or West, like Southwest or North. Like they're definitely not in Europe, because if they were in Europe, my game wouldn't be laggy. How's that fake?
Well, I guess before we let you go, sir, I mean, anything that people should
How's that fake?
stock of as
It's happening right now.
South Carolina, just give us a final update on what they can expect and how long they can expect it to last.
Well, part of that depends on where the storm goes, and the track does not look good. We've been on the good side of the storm, the weak side. If the eye comes over, we're going to go from the good side to the bad side, and we're going to get that storm surge. So the next couple of days, at least the next 24 hours, are going to be rough, so be prepared for that. Be safe. Don't do anything risky. Make sure that people know where you are and that you're doing those things to protect you and your family.
All right, Mark Kua, thank you so much for taking some time out, because I know this is a busy time for you, so we appreciate it.
You're quite welcome.
All right, let's get straight to Jeff Beardelli. He's joining us here at the desk to talk about the weather in terms of the science behind all this. We've been talking a lot about the response and what people should do to take care of themselves as the rains come, as the winds start to hit. But what are we looking at? Let's talk about first South Carolina.
South Carolina, well, the storm actually took a little turn this morning. We expected this. It was moving west. As soon as it touched the coast, it started spinning south, and now it's headed towards the South Carolina coast. And the problem is it's only going to move around 100 miles per 24 hours.
That's slow.
That is really slow. So now the attention is going to turn to how much rain is going to fall. Some places have seen as much as around 2
Pretty good, but all the countries are safe. Dude, I've changed something on my live stream. Water's a big. I believe in by water, but what's really, you probably say, oh no, they'll get used to the water, like they'll probably survive the water, but no. Some people might not, because they might, their house might get flooded. Because if you have a favourite, like I have a favourite user called Kid Behind the Camera. He lives in North Carolina. He's this is like the second one this year. Nice. One person, I don't believe him, this is actually one of the apocalypses for America, one of the apocalypses. I can't say it, like one of the Populixes. I can't say it as that's really annoying. It's just weird. This actually could be true, but I think it's fake. It just came to my head. Like, say if there was a big meteor, yeah, it's going past, but it's not. It's going in the atmosphere, but it's not hitting Earth. But say if it's going really fast, like 500 miles per hour. Yeah. Now, what happens if like a big meteor hit one of the clouds going like really fast and just causes a massive hurricane because it's like really fast? It's probably fake, but it just came to my head.
That runs off the hills and causes, rapid flash flooding. So literally all of the rivers are going to be filled with water in most of North Carolina and downstream in South Carolina as well. This is going to be a catastrophic flooding event for the Carolinas. Again, if you didn't think the winds were that strong and you think that this is no big deal, just wait another, 12, 24 hours or less than that, and you'll see how the water really starts to come up. In fact, we're going to see flash flooding a lot earlier than that, probably starting now, but it'll get worse and worse as we head through the weekend.
So just exactly what is flash flooding? I know it might seem like a silly question, but people know what flooding is.
So if you looked at the video from Harvey last year, of the water just kind of sitting there, that wasn't really a flash flood. It came up kind of gradually. So you had time to prepare. You could watch the flooding come in, and you're watching, from your window, oh boy, the water's about to get in my house, but it's a very gradual process. Flash flooding happens literally in an instant. We saw it in Ellicott City, Maryland, and I don't know if you remember that video of the water rushing down the main part of the city.
Right, just tossing cars around like they were toys.
That is flash flooding, and it happens in an instant.
John, I'm going some squads. Full squads.
Watch out. There's a likelihood of flash flooding in your area. All right, as always, great to have you, my friend. Thank you so much.
I'll do some drawings.
Storm surge, heavy rain, and powerful winds are slamming the North Carolina coast right now. Earlier, we talked to our Mola Lengi in Wilmington about the latest conditions.
Well, Vlad, conditions starting to worsen here. We caught a little bit of a lull about 30, 45 minutes ago, but just in the last 10, 15 minutes, conditions have started to deteriorate here. Wind speed picking back up.
I want to, if I die and don't get more than 3 kills, if I die and I don't have more than 3 kills after doing a knife game, but with pencil. Oh damn it, I thought they landed in here. But fudge. Fudge cake. Don't finish me. you what, this PlayStation camera is very annoying. So that he's not really seeing me. Put that there. Bro, you're really annoying, camera. Okay. Can't really see, but oh damn it! Can't do it. I didn't hit myself, but this computer, no, this camera's pretty pissing me off. Pisses me off. Can I see? But I'm gonna quickly do it again.
Outside the fire station, gone about 7 blocks, and you can see the river and the road are now the same.
How can we make sure our troops are being deployed where they're needed the most?
A lot of it is on the level of unimaginable, so we just have to imagine it the best we can and try to establish as much flexibility as we can.
Seeing essentially is so many things blowing around. We've had now sustained winds all through the night, ramping up here as the eye wall came on shore.
This is scary. I'm scared. I don't think it's ever come riding down on top of us like this.
90 miles an hour where we are right now. No glory there flopping in the wind. God bless you.
We in North Carolina have to shift from preparation to determination. We will survive this, and we will endure.
That does seem to be the feeling right now. We will survive this and we will endure. We certainly hope it stays that way. Welcome to CBS This Morning. Courts off today. The open begins in. Joining us. We will begin, of course, with Hurricane Florence. That's what we're all talking about today. It's made landfall after bombarding the Carolinas all night long with devastating flooding and damaging winds. Forecasters warn that Florence's storm surge will be even worse at high tide later today.
The center of Florence is near Wilmington, North Carolina, with maximum sustained winds of 90 miles an hour. That makes it a Category 1, but don't underestimate the power of the storm. Rising water has flooded several coastal cities, swamping homes and businesses.
More than 415,000 homes and businesses across the region have lost power. We have a team of correspondents covering the storms. And in Louisiana, Jeff Ford is leading our coverage in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Gotta be sending live stream. Hope you enjoyed and peace out.